Arizona Hispanic Connection.
Welcome to AARP, Arizona Hispanic Connection, for a very informative show today. We have a very important topic, and it is coronavirus economic stimulus. Coronavirus economic stimulus. And we do have a special guest today. Before I introduce my guest, I would like to remind you that we do Facebook Lives, and these shows you can find these shows afterwards and even during. I'm not sure if, because we're doing this from home, if we are going to be having any issues, but if at any rate you can find it either now live or later an uploaded video. Again, this is a very important topic, and let me first of all ask Ulises. Ulises, how are we doing with the signal? Is everything okay?
David, te escuchas perfectamente. Aquí estoy en el estudio, pero aquí estamos conectados. Te oyes muy bien. Todo bien.
Muchísimas gracias. Muchísimas gracias. También, this is English. And by the way, we will do 30 minutes in English, and then we will continue with 30 minutes in Spanish. I want to welcome and introduce my guest today, and is none other than Fernanda Torres Maqueda. Fernanda Torres Maqueda. She is a program case manager. She works for CPLC, Chicanos Por La Causa. Fernanda, thank you so very much for joining our show today.
Hi, David. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. We will have an important show today. We are addressing coronavirus economic stimulus, April 14th, 2020. This is the fourth show that we use to address this important matter of coronavirus. It's not going away, so we're not going away either. And there's just so much information coming our way, and we really want to stay on this topic until we feel that the community is informed and has the updated information. Let me just read a little something that I typed here on my computer, and then I will engage Fernanda with a few questions, primarily in the realm of unemployment and the stimulus money that the government has started sending to people's, I was going to say homes, but it's actually to people's bank accounts. And let me just read this just for a second. With this pandemic, we not only have to make sure we follow the prescribed measures to stop the spreading, but we also have to deal with the side effects that come with it, one of which may be the economic impact. Many have lost their jobs and are struggling to make ends meet. In today's show, we will address what the government, especially the federal government, is doing to alleviate the financial struggle. Very particularly, we will address unemployment and the stimulus checks. With us today again is Fernanda Torres Maqueda, Program Case Manager with Chicanos Por La Causa. Once again, welcome, Fernanda.
Thank you.
Yes, I know that Chicanos Por La Causa has been extremely busy, just like ARP. I mean, we are extremely busy trying to make sense of all the information that is flowing from the government in terms of stimulus money, guidance, you name it. So let us start, first of all, how has it been for you personally and Chicanos Por La Causa in having to sort out all this information that is flowing from the government and then basically sharing it with the community?
Well, as you can imagine, David, Chicanos Por La Causa has been working diligently to really keep up to date with all of the research and information that has been put out, not only in regards to unemployment, but also the CARES Act. But given that our organization really offers wraparound services from anywhere from mental health to housing, we have been quite busy to truly try to fill in those gaps and those needs that the community currently needs. Of course, on a daily basis, the information does change, as you can
Hmm.
imagine. But this is something that we are working at every single day and hope to provide services to anyone that we can.
Thank you, and thank you to Chicanos por la Causa. I am extremely impressed at all that you are doing. And you know, I myself, as an employee, a staff member of AARP, have to keep myself up to date. And I was just telling my colleagues that these days we obviously are not doing in-person events, and for whatever reason, I end up at the end of the day more tired than when I used to carry out all the events. And it is just the amount of information and having to to basically understand what's going on and trying to make sense of it and obviously communicate it to the community. So thank you very much again to you, Fernanda, and to Chicanos por la Causa. So let me start with the first question. And the first question actually has to do with unemployment. Can you help us understand what benefits have been offered in the realm of unemployment?
Sure. So we currently in Arizona do have an unemployment benefits program. Now, it is important to discern that there are two separate parts of unemployment currently due to the pandemic. You have your regular unemployment insurance benefits, which will max out at $240. But with the recent CARES Act that was passed into law on March 27th by the federal government, it also added additional benefits to those that are already existing for unemployment. Therefore, individuals who are currently out of work now can apply to unemployment. Those that have received, or excuse me, who have experienced their hours cut due to the pandemic or have been directly or indirectly impacted by the pandemic can now also apply to unemployment. Now, what that means is that the state of Arizona will be providing unemployment insurance benefits in the forms of checks to individuals who apply and are eligible to receive it. Now, this monetary amount that you receive on a weekly basis typically caps out at 26 weeks. And of course, because you are receiving a benefit, you would normally have to meet certain requirements, such as actively looking for work. Now, given the pandemic, a lot of that has changed. So for individuals that are currently seeking unemployment benefits, it is critical that they apply as soon as possible. The monetary amount that they receive on these weekly benefits is based off of wage statements of their last employer. So not everyone receives the same amount of unemployment. It really varies anywhere between $165 to about $240 each week. Now, given the CARES Act, which we can certainly go into later, those individuals that are eligible to receive unemployment in their designated state will now receive an additional $600 per the CARES Act in unemployment benefits until the end of July, which is actually a new benefit. In addition, those that are currently eligible for unemployment in the state will now receive an additional 13 weeks of regular unemployment due to the CARES Act extension. Therefore, if an individual's benefits have already run out or they're on the verge of running out, and these are regular unemployment benefits, they will now be eligible to receive 13 weeks extra. And those that are already eligible or may already receive benefits can expect to start receiving an additional $600 on top of what they currently receive, but only until the end of July.
My advice is always, when in doubt, apply. Would you say that that's a good advice? I'm sure there are questions of who's eligible, who's not. Would you say that that's a good concept, that anybody who potentially is eligible, but if they are in doubt, it's better just to apply, correct?
I would, and that's certainly the advice that I would give anyone. Given the changes that occur on a daily basis, we are experiencing quite a bit of flexibility when it comes to applying to benefits. Now, the amount of individuals, not only statewide and nationally, who have applied to unemployment has risen dramatically, much more than it has even during the 2008 recession.
Right.
So it is normal, and folks should expect to receive delays in their unemployment benefits applications. However, I would advise anyone at this moment who does meet those eligibility requirements to apply as soon as possible.
And we are at the halfway mark of our show. Again, I remind folks that this is a 30-minute show to be followed by a Spanish show. Sigan con nosotros en 30, a la media hora seguimos con el show en español. So, Fernanda, let's now move to the stimulus money. Unemployment is bad enough, and obviously some people have been affected by loss of jobs. And so the federal government is also sending money as a stimulus, right, to stimulate the economy, to help those folks who may have lost jobs. Can you walk us through the sort of help that is being provided? I heard it in the news yesterday that checks have begun to hit the bank accounts already. So that's a good news. Can you kind of walk us through what singles can expect, married couples, etc.?
Sure. So as an individual or head of household filers, you can expect $1,200 via stimulus check. Now, these stimulus checks ideally are going to be coming through direct deposits. Now, for those individuals that have filed either their 2018 or 2019 tax filings, they will use the direct deposit information off of those documents to actually submit your stimulus check through direct deposit. Anyone who currently does not receive direct deposit will be mailed a physical check. But as mentioned, the individuals and head of households can expect $1,200. Now, if you are a married couple and you file jointly and you are not a dependent of another taxpayer, which is a pretty big factor in the stimulus checks, you can expect $2,400. Now, this amount does vary depending on your salary per year. So the federal government has stated that those of lower income will receive their stimulus checks first. So they are a priority.
Okay.
Now, you are eligible to receive those full amounts. As an individual, you will receive the $1,200 if your gross income, so before taxes, is up to $75,000. If you are filing jointly as a married couple for the $2,400, you are looking at a joint income of about $150,000. Now, if your personal salary does go above that amount, the government is reducing your stimulus check amount. So that's something certainly that is very important. You can find a calculator to actually calculate how much your stimulus check will be on many websites, including the IRS site. Now, if you are a family, you can actually receive an additional $500 per child that you claim on your taxes that is 17 years old or younger, so long as they are not dependents of other individuals. So those that you claim really play a huge factor in regards to your total income because, for example, senior citizens, college students, anyone that might be a dependent of another individual, regardless of age, will not be eligible to receive those benefits. So that's certainly something very important to know, particularly with families or families that may split child custody as well.
Let me let us cover those on Social Security.
Yes.
That is a group that AARP has been very active in Washington, D.C., basically making sure that our members, in essence, all the 50-plus communities well represented. This is something that AARP fought hard so that those on Social Security would also get the stimulus money. Can you help us understand just that information in terms of those on Social Security?
Sure. So individuals that do receive Social Security benefits or railroad retirement benefits are going to be eligible to receive the stimulus check. So while they may not file traditional tax filings, the information that they the information that they submit to already receive their Social Security benefits will be used to actually send them their stimulus checks. So they will automatically be eligible to receive that money. In addition, any individuals that do not currently file taxes there's quite a bit of different categories. The IRS will be releasing a portal system online so that you can fill a simple tax filing for the purposes of the stimulus check. But to your point, David, those that do receive Social Security or railroad retirement benefits will be eligible to receive the stimulus check.
And you know, there was something about those folks that do not normally, those that are on Social Security, but that they might have a qualifying children. So that's where they would go, they would need to go to that portal to basically provide that type of information so they can also get the credit. I understand that if they don't do this, they might not get at least when their own money is sent to them, they might not get the credit. Do you have information on that?
So currently, it's a little complicated, as you can imagine, but really the simple answer is that anyone that they may claim that on their taxes that is 17 or under, they will get that stimulus check for. However, if they don't currently claim them, the portal should allow you to update your current IRS information. So it may still be a possibility for them to receive those benefits. But more than anything, I would recommend going on the IRS website because there are so many case-by-case situations when it comes to the stimulus check.
And you know, just like I said earlier, that when in doubt, and this is pertaining obviously to unemployment, when in doubt, apply. I would, if I was on Social Security and had a dependent children under the age of 17, I would go and the website, I believe it's www.irs.gov/coronavirus/economic hyphen impact hyphen payments. So literally, if somebody visits the IRS website, irs.gov, they will definitely be able to navigate in and find that. For non-filers, I think it's important if you are on Social Security, and I think and especially if you have dependents, 17-year or under, that is going to be. If you don't have dependents, like Fernanda said, there's no need to do anything. And also the Form 1099 that Social Security sends to folks who receive Social Security, that seems to be like a key to basically tell a person, yes, if you get a 1099, most likely you will get that check. Is that accurate?
So they will be using the information on their Social Security benefit form. So it does depend on what form they may actually submit. But if they're already receiving benefits, they will be using the information that the system already has. But as mentioned, when the IRS releases that portal, which is not currently launched yet, I would recommend anyone to actually go in there and check their information to really see what their current status is.
Yeah, that's great. So basically, again, Social Security, we're talking about retirement benefits, survival benefits, disability benefits, and SSI benefits. So those are the four benefits typically that folks receive in different situations. So again, there's nothing to do. The check will get to your bank account directly if you have that system, or if not, they will send it to you. Now, there is something that I read, Fernanda, about a letter that the IRS will send to all the folks who receive the money, basically to confirm the money that the IRS sent, basically to avoid fraud. Anything on that?
Yes, so that is correct. So approximately 14 to 15 days after the check has been sent, either through mail or through direct deposit, individuals can expect a letter in the mail which will detail how the money was provided to them. So either via postal mail or through direct deposit, the information that they have on the individual, and contact information in regards to whom they may contact if there is any error. Now, the government, the IRS, and everyone has said that they are not contacting individuals really through any other platform besides postal mail. So if anyone does receive any calls, any emails, there is a high chance that it is a scam email or call. So those are currently on the rise. So that's certainly something to keep an eye out for. But I would absolutely keep an eye on your postal mail. And that is going to be the exact contact information that you will be utilizing in order to confirm that information if incorrect.
So this is a very, very important point, Fernanda. I consider it. We are very much engaged in the matter of fraud and literally offering lots of resources and information so that people protect themselves and their loved ones. So what I'm hearing is that no phone calls. I mean, the government will not call anybody. Neither will they send anything on the mail except that letter afterwards, right after the money has been deposited. So we really want to encourage folks to beware of those phone calls, text messages, or any other means that the folks or not, the fraudsters, that are defrauding people may use. So be very, very careful. Let me come back just to another point, Fernanda, because I think it's very important. When we are talking about the stimulus money, the amounts, it is my understanding that they are considering the adjusted gross income, not the gross income. Would you say a little something about that? Are you there? We might have lost Fernanda. Hello? Yes, we have about 4 more minutes, and let's see if Fernanda is able to join the call. But basically, again, it is my understanding that the amounts being considered for the money is the adjusted gross income. The adjusted gross income. And again, some folks are going to get the full amount, either $1,200 or $2,400, depending on whether you are married or single. And there are the amount being considered, to my knowledge, is the adjusted gross income. Are you there, Fernanda, by chance? Yeah, I don't hear her. I don't know if she's there or not, but anyhow, we
Hello?
are. Yeah, now you're back. Yes, I was asking.
Sorry about that.
No, not a problem. I was asking about the amounts. The amounts that will trigger the full amount, $1,200 or $2,400 in the case of couples. Is that gross or adjusted gross?
So this is going to be adjusted gross is what they're going to be utilizing your salary
Right.
to calculate that total.
Yeah, that is very important, I believe, for folks to know, because one thing is the amount that you get paid, and then another thing is, I believe it's in line 7, if I'm not mistaken, on the form 1040. But anyway, remember, is the adjusted gross income. So basically, if you make 75, or even if you make, say, 85, when the deductions take place, you probably will make it. So keep that in mind. And again, some folks will get the full amount, and others will get a reduced amount once they exceed. Do you have the amounts, Fernanda, after the 75, the range where people would get
After when it gets reduced?
Yeah, when it gets reduced.
Yes. So you will receive a reduced payment if you make anywhere, and this is for single or married that are filing separately. It will be between $75,000 and $99,000. For head of household, it's going to be anywhere between $1,000, $1,200, $500, and $136,000. And for those that are married and filing jointly, the range is going to be between $150,000 to $198,000. So
Got
fairly
it.
high incomes.
Yes, so again, some folks are going to get the full benefit. Others are going to get the partial, if you will, or reduced benefit. We have about a minute. I believe that, again, we want to say that the money has started hitting the bank accounts. Most likely, some folks are going to get a check. And that's very, very good news. So we will continue to inform the public. I want to thank Fernanda Torres Maqueda from CPLC, Chicanos Por La Causa. Thank you, Fernanda, once again, and a big thank you to Chicanos Por La Causa for everything that they do to continue to keep our community informed. Thank you very much for joining our show today.
Thank you so much for having me, David.
Yes, and stay tuned. Stay tuned for our Spanish show. Right after this one, we'll basically cover the same items, the same information in Spanish. Thank you. This is all the time we have for now. We hope that this was beneficial to you. Have a great rest of the day. Take care.